Got a couple good ones in week 7 of college football. Let's start with number 8, Oregon, going to number 7, Washington. It's going to be 2:30 on ABC. Currently, Washington is a 3-point favorite. I cannot wait for this game. Two of the best quarterbacks in the country in Bo Nix and Michael Penix. I think these are two of the best teams in all of college football. They're certainly, in my opinion, the best two teams in the Pac-12. But there's going to be a lot made about the offenses coming into this game, and rightfully so, right? Bo Nix is great, and I think that Oregon may have the best rushing attack in all of college football with what Bucky Irving can do at the running back spot, and then what Nix can do with his legs in the running game. And then Washington, I don't even know if it's an argument. I think they got the best passing attack in all of college football. You've got Penix at QB, you've got Adunze, you've got Polk, you've got McMillan there at wide receiver, and it sounds like all those guys are going to be ready to go for this one. But am I crazy to think that this one's going to come down to the defenses?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I think it will to some degree. I feel like Oregon's the more balanced football team, but I don't know, man. It's out of character for me because Oregon is really kind of set up how I'd like a football team to be set up. But I think Washington's air attack, passing attack is just going to chew them up.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Oregon. Husky Stadium's going to be insane for this game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an awesome atmosphere. But in big games, I typically pick the team I think that's better at the line of scrimmage. And I think Oregon's just a little better at the line of scrimmage. Like I trust Oregon's defense to get a few more stops than Washington's. Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm not sure if Washington can't run the ball or they just don't run the ball. Maybe it's a little bit of both. But in a game like this, give me the team that I think is better along the offensive line and defensive line. And going into this one, man, I think that's Oregon. I love this setup for this game, though. Top 10 mashup. Both teams coming off a bye. Seems like both teams are going to be as healthy as they can be. You know, both undefeated. It doesn't get much better than this, man.
No, this is the biggest game the Pac-12's had in a long time. It feels like legit between legitimate contenders, right? I know the Oregon-Colorado game had big viewership, but this is legitimate contenders, and I cannot say anything negative about you going with Oregon. Typically, I would, and if this game was in Oregon, I probably would. But I think Washington being at home, having the passing attack that I think is going to really frustrate Oregon. I'm taking Washington, but I mean, this one really to me can go either way. I hope it's a great game. I expect it to be a great game.
That's all I really want, right? We got no dog in this race. I just want to be entertained. Man, I think we're going to get a really, really good football game between two very good football teams. So I'm fired up. I don't know how many stops it's going to take, right? If a defense could get 3 stops, 4 stops, I don't know, force a couple field goals. I don't know why I think Oregon's going to go win that game. It's going to be a really hostile environment, right? I've heard that place gets loud.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard the same thing.
But, hey, can't wait. Going to be fun. All right, next game. Number 10 USC. They keep winning and dropping in the polls. At number 21, right? At number 21 Notre Dame. This game is 6:30 on NBC. The Fighting Irish are currently a 3-point favorite. Both teams coming off disappointing performances, but at least USC won their game, right, against Arizona. It took overtime, but they won the game. USC's defense, they're undoubtedly a liability, but I also kind of look at Notre Dame, and especially that offense, a little differently after what Louisville did to them at the line of scrimmage. I mean, you think about that. Louisville gashed them with their run game, especially in the second half. And then Notre Dame could not run the ball against Louisville. So could USC's defense maybe have a little more success than we think in this one? I think that's a possibility, but here's where I'm at with this game. One team has Caleb Williams, the other team does not. I like the team with Caleb Williams. Sam Hartman has not looked sharp in their last couple football games. Is USC, I kind of think they're going to go win the game. I think they have an advantage at head coach, right? But, Lincoln Riley has been in a lot more of these than Marcus Freeman. I kind of like the Trojans to surprise a lot of people and go win.
Yeah, I think that, they've kind of got that I know they're only a 3-point dog and they're going on the road. That's kind of how it should be. You can't be surprised with that, but it does have the feeling with USC that they've got a bunch of haters and they can kind of rally behind that. But Notre Dame is the best team that USC has played this year by a million miles. And I don't think that Caleb Williams can continue to do it all on his own, all on the road. Defense, I think, is going to, do what they do, maybe force a couple of turnovers, but they're going to give up some points. I think being on the road is a big deal, especially for a guy that's mobile like Caleb Williams. There's something about that grass up there that just sucks the athleticism out of players. That it's just, and I don't know, it's weird. Oh wait, they went to turf, didn't they?
Yeah, they've got turf.
Yeah, they went to turf.
It just feels wrong.
It feels very wrong. Yeah, I forgot they went to turf. But still, I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be able to do this one single-handedly. And that's really what he has to do on a week-in, week-out basis. Notre Dame's just too good, too balanced of a football team. I think it's going to be – I bet Caleb Williams probably has the ball in his hands with an opportunity to go win the football game late.
Yeah. I hope that's what we get, right? That's what we all want.
I feel like that's what we get with USC, whether they're playing – the best team in their conference or one of the best teams in the country or the worst team. It's kind of the same result.
It's just going to be a close game no matter what.
Yeah.
Now, it is interesting, right? This is the fourth primetime game in a row for Notre Dame. And I don't want to make any excuses for them, but they did look a little worn out last week on the road to Louisville. Now, this one is in South Bend. You got to imagine they're going to have all the energy in the world, right? Feed off that crowd. That's why I think it's really, really important. If USC wants to win this game, you got to start fast, right? You gotta get that crowd there in South Bend grumbling a little bit, like, oh my gosh, here we go again. Are we really going to lose this one too? Because this game's lost a little sizzle already, right? Notre Dame already has 2 losses. College football playoff hopes are gone for the Irish. There's some discussion among the fan base, like, hey, is Marcus Freeman the guy for the job? If you're USC, like, you have to, if you get off to a hot start, then it's the energy starts getting a little weird there in that stadium, or at least that would be my guess. But I guess the big question is, hey, can Notre Dame get Audric Estime going on the ground? Their O-line did not play well against Louisville, so
it's kind of a shock.
I will not be surprised at all if USC goes and wins this game, because they have Caleb Williams. He's that good.
That helps.
All right. Any other games this weekend that have your attention, Ted? We've got number 25 Miami going to number 12 North Carolina. We've got number 18 UCLA going to number 15 Oregon State. Ooh, that is going to be a physical football game. And then we've got, hey, A&M going to number 19 Tennessee, lose that one, and the discourse around Jimbo Fisher intensifies quickly.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a tough one to go win. Now, Tennessee obviously is not the team they were a year ago, but that's still going to be an incredibly difficult place to go play and go win, especially coming off of a disappointment there at home against Alabama. You know, I'm interested in the Miami North Carolina game. I think Miami may go in there and get smoked. With the disappointment from that last game and everyone talking about your coach and maybe guys starting to second guess some things a little bit. Like they're in not a spot that you would want to be in right now going into play against a guy like Drake May.
No doubt. And North Carolina's going to have the best player on the field, right? And Drake May. Also, that North Carolina defense, man, they substantially improved.
Yeah. They got my respect early whenever their defensive line absolutely destroyed South Carolina.
I felt bad for Spencer Rattler in that game.
I know.
Dude was running for his life.
That feels like a year ago, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, are people sleeping on North Carolina? I know they're ranked 12th, but they may be the class of the ACC, man. I mean, I know that Florida State is the team that everyone's talking about, and those two teams do not play each other in the regular season.
Here's what's crazy: like if they meet up in the conference championship game, the real trump card that Florida State kind of carries into every game with them is they've got the best quarterback, right? They ain't gonna have the best quarterback in that game.
No,
crazy.
Some people think that no matter who UNC lines up against, that they have the best quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean, I know some guys that do the NFL draft stuff for a living, and they like May more than Caleb Williams.
And it's hard to argue with that because he's a really good athlete, and he's so much bigger than Caleb Williams. He's like 6'4", 230, right, or close to it.
Big guy.
Big guy. So, I mean, that durability is a factor for sure.
Yeah. If I could pick any other game to watch this weekend, I do like the drama that comes with Texas A&M at Tennessee, but dude, give me UCLA, Oregon State.
I know.
There are going to be pads popping in that game. That UCLA defense versus that rushing attack from Oregon State. Sign me up. Cannot wait.
Yeah.
Going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's not, hey,
who would have
Corvallis
thought?
Is a weird place, man. Weird stuff happens in Corvallis.
Yeah. Who would have thought UCLA and Oregon State would be setting the tone physically for a fall afternoon?
Yeah. As we all expected.